Monument Health plays a huge role in the community here with Rapid City. We are the largest hospital and really the only major hospital.
So the community is a fairly small-knit community that's very connected. Monument has a great relationship with the community.
It's been a big emphasis on pulling groups together to make positive changes, and the relationship with the hospital is equivalent to that. It's pulling our hospital employees and staff in to see what the community needs.
It's very important that we take care of our people and serve.
The Avant nurses have changed Monument Health for the positive, and I feel like it's really brought our community an understanding of other cultures, which I think is really important for Western South Dakota.
Everybody was friendly, very, I would say exceedingly friendly. They walk up to you, "Hi, my name is this, I do this here, what can I do to help you?" They are always there, even when you don't know they are there.
I feel like I am a part of this community.
We provide support in making sure that they get connected with the right school and know where their school zone things are.
We'll create special kind of focused education for those caregivers to make sure that they're set up for success.
It's always exciting, especially in this new role that I am, because I'm in charge of onboarding those Avant nurses, and I'm always excited. Yes, we have another Avant nurse coming. I want to show them the great things about Monumental, the great things about Rapid City, all that I have experienced, and say, hey, this is what it has to offer, and yes, you will feel like you belong here.
This is the right environment, not a lot of people, not a lot of traffic. Life just flows. It's not like it's too hectic.
We love hiking, and we love going to new spots, so not just the same spot every single time, but if I was to choose one spot, it would be Spearfish Canyon. There's a nice little trail that you can hike, and then there's a waterfall. In the winter, when it's partially frozen over, it's really, really, really beautiful.
I love window shopping, so I go downtown and walk around the shops, look at the windows. Sometimes I go in, I keep walking, looking at things. I love it.
As a director, it's important for me to foster all caregivers in their leadership abilities and capabilities. I have so many international nurses that are now charge nurses, that are nurse clinicians, hope to be managers someday. They are part of my succession plan for my future leadership team, and I hope that they stay with us, and a lot of them have converted and they have stayed, and it's been wonderful. But I think as a leader, you have to be able to see that in each individual and know what they can do and help them get there.
I am still here. Expanded my family and bought a house, and the reason for that is the huge support that Monument Health gives to its caregivers, not just Avant nurses, but everyone. And that expands to the community as well, and that's why I decided to stay. There's huge support in your growth, huge support in you as a person, your family.
If they didn't love where they worked, they wouldn't stay. So we're grateful for all of them that are here. Like I said before, they're part of our family. We've been through, childbirths and buying houses and weddings and fun things, and it's been really great.
It's going to happen one day, and then it did happen, and I got my visa, and then one day I stepped through the airport at Washington DC, and I'm like, yes, here I am. When I started having this dream of coming to the United States to be a registered nurse, I wasn't really too familiar with the different agencies, but Avant was always on social media, Facebook, Instagram.
I think because healthcare in most industries, due to COVID and other factors, have experienced a shift, we need to widen our net. We need to become more creative when it comes to how and where we source our nurses.
Without Avant, I don't think I will be here today. Because officially, I think I started the process with them in 2018, and I didn't get here until 2021.
It's almost 3 years.
Yes,
Was
it
it
takes
worth
about.
it?
Yes, it was.
Why?
Because I always tell people what I've achieved in the 1 year I've been here.
Destined for great things. Isn't that nice?
The opportunities, like I said, I I'm in school for my master's right now.
They have this eagerness and very inquisitive style about wanting to learn all the tools and all the information that is needed for them to take care of our patients. They're very resourceful. I love the fact that they are very diverse with not only their language capabilities, but just being able to connect with our patients.
I couldn't have had it better. Like, this is my first hospital in the US, and it's like, this is the best place for me to start off. They are like a family here.
I think because we serve in an organization that see the importance of diversity and ensuring that we have caregivers who are not only able to speak the language of our patients, but make a connection with them. They know what some of their challenges and or barriers are, and they seek help to assist them with that.
And that's why I say the opportunities abound. You just have to show what caliber of person you're made of and show how resourceful and how good you can be at what you do, and show them that's it. And they're always willing, they're so supportive. They let you do and fly as wide as you can, as high as you can. Here, it's been amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Avant, because without you, I wouldn't have been here.
I was in the hospital as a young girl, a teenager, and I realized when I got out that I wanted to be a nurse. I graduated nursing school when I was 17 years old, and I graduated as an LPN first and then went on to RN school. And I remember my very first position at the hospital. I was very nervous, of course, at 17. My father dropped me off, and I went through the interview, and when I got in the car, I was so excited because I had gotten the position, and he asked me how much I was going to make, and I said, I have no idea. I didn't ask. I was just so excited that I got the job. My favorite time as far as working as a nurse, taking care of patients, was in the cardiac catheterization lab. For me, when a person would come in with a heart attack or a blocked artery, and I could work with a team, that instantly you would see that you've opened up this vessel and this person no longer was going to have heart damage, was just an adrenaline rush. If I had one more day left and if I had the skills still to be able to do it, I would love to be able to. I've been with Avant for 9 years. I met our previous CEO, and she explained to me what we do here at Avant. I knew that that was for me. Even though I had a lot to learn, especially the first 6 months, I knew that this is where I wanted to retire from. I've had different roles within Avant, and each and every role has been different. This role, for me, the way that I change lives is that if there's anything I can be involved in to make sure that the nurses do thrive and live their American dream, that's what it's all about for me, is changing the lives, especially at my age. I want to make sure whatever I do brings value. I'm still a practicing nurse. I haven't taken care of patients in a long time, but I do believe what I do helps others in order for them to take care of the patients that they need.
You know, for me, being a nurse is really about the sacredness and the trust that we have with our patients.
Helping those little ones grow and helping the parents to be more comfortable in the hospital setting.
I'm also part of a bigger community when it comes to patient education, nursing education.
So as I think about Nurses Week, specifically as I consider our Avant nurses, I really think about the fact that you trained in your home countries, you've worked for many years in your home countries, but you made the really brave decision to bring your career to the US.
There isn't any more meaningful profession, and it's just a real blessing to be able to care for others and to be trusted as much as we are.
Where would the world be without nurses? Wow, that is a question we could talk about all day long.
I really don't know. I think that we would see the collapse of our world's healthcare systems.
We would be doomed. We need nurses, okay? We definitely are needed.
Do you know that 15% of all nurses in the US are international? So imagine taking 15% of the nurses away, and that is the difference that international nurses bring.
Being an international nurse myself, I definitely encourage persons to continue to just put your best foot forward.
I tell every single one of our groups, it's actually a quote by John Wayne, and it's courage is being scared to death, but saddling up anyway.
And that is a hugely brave thing to do. It can be overwhelming when you first arrive, but if you think back on your journey, think about how many lives you may have changed, and think about the contributions that you bring to a hospital that maybe has never had an international nurse before.
And the opportunities that are going to be afforded to you are vast. You can do it. You're amazing. Nurses are awesome.
In a world that perhaps feels more fractured than ever, what could unify us more than something we all feel? That's change.
It's actually pushed us creatively.
The pandemic shaping every aspect of our lives, how we enjoy.
A lot of the things that I've been enjoying has been virtual.
To how we eat.
We're fighting for that customer.
And even how we feel.
I haven't seen my children or my grandchildren.
Sometimes you close the door, you pray, and hope that it's going to be a better day.
Good job.
We'll play again.
Before she could even touch the pedals, piano was the familiar refrain in Abby Huang's life.
She didn't start speaking until later in life, and when she came out, it came out with the music.
Her mother, Wei Wei, watched her piano-playing prodigy light up the stage at Carnegie Hall in New York at age 8.
It brought tears to my eyes for sure.
I feel proud. I feel happy.
But the last year, as concert halls sat empty across the country, it's a hands-on process, installing solar panels.
Down.
Things can get pretty loud. But inside, Rachel Beveridge welcomes the clanging, even working from home.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
That's because Rachel is excited to have a house that'll run on clean energy. She and her husband had been considering solar for a while. This new pool was a pushing point. They wanted a way to heat it year-round without breaking the bank.
Then it turned into, well, the math backed up why we should continue on, and so now we're doing the whole house in solar.
She says the timing couldn't be better. That's because state legislators recently passed a bill allowing utility companies to offer rooftop solar users less money for energy. Right now, those users get the full retail rate for any excess energy they send back to the grid. That means they can bank that energy as credits to use later, the chance to net zero their bills year-round. But if this measure becomes law, the payback rate would gradually decline. Solar contractor Brad Lowndes says hitting net zero would be a no-go.
It's a typical example of the power companies honestly saying, do as I say, not as I do. Because they can build power plants, but we can't benefit from the free energy that we pull out of the grid.
Supporters argue this ensures those who can't afford solar aren't subsidizing those who have it. If the governor signs off, solar users can get grandfathered in for another 20 years if their panels are up and running before 2024. That's when the payback rate would start to decline. Rachel's just glad she got it now.
We've been able to capitalize when it's, the most perks.
Reporting in Claremont, Rebecca Turco, Spectrum News 13.
The sound of starting over.
Once we started, we haven't stopped.
Rings over the rainforest-covered hills of Canovanas.
That we won't stop, because it doesn't end until we die.
Determination in every swing, sift, and drop of sweat poured into a new home.
That was always the plan, but I never thought it would be like this.
This is the second time our cameras rolled on this family-filmed work site.
A year ago, we met the Gonzalez family, walking by their old home, destroyed by Hurricane Maria. Now that same home overlooks their new home. And in fact, they're using some of the old home's materials in the rebuild.
It would be easy and understandable to be angry after losing everything.
When the hurricane happened, a lot of people see it like a negative thing. And it really was. It was negative. But when time passes and you reflect on what happened, you think, wow, I spent so much time with my family.
Almost every day, the Gonzalez family comes here and works. Their old wooden house, blown away like Hurricane Maria was the big bad wolf. So the new house is made of cement, hoping it will hold up against future hurricanes. It's a long process rebuilding a home with just your family.
We haven't stopped, and that doesn't mean if we haven't finished, it doesn't mean we're gonna stop. And I think that's the vision, and that should be the vision of every Puerto Rican.
At 16, this young man sees the big picture of Maria.
There are things in our life that come hard, but we should never quit. It's courage that Puerto Rico nunca se quita, and I love my island.
It's a love and determination they hope people in the mainland see.
Puerto Rico is something small. It's a small speck of island, but it doesn't mean that we're small in heart and small in character.
In Canovanas, Puerto Rico, I'm Erin Murray.
We're hoping for the end of this year we can move here.
Spectrum, News 13. The vibrant, colorful, and music-filled island of Puerto Rico is easy to enjoy. San Juan is fast, fun, full of life. Not the place to see marks left by Maria. For that, a much different place, close to where Maria hit, is the small seaside municipality of Manabo. The windy shores now harmonizing with the hammers, wielded by men whose wrinkled hands shouldn't have to hold them.
I'm 73 years old, and the only help I have is God.
But retirement is on hold here.
That's right.
For Nidia Greyo and Hector Ortiz, their home is still a work in progress.
My bedroom is back here, but we have to close this because the water was coming down.
Nidia is 70 and Hector is 74. This house, they intended to spend their golden years.
But then when this is come, everything changed.
Their retirement home, now a construction zone.
When I go to mix concrete or something like that, before, when I was younger, I can mix about 3-4 bags. Now I take only one.
It's heartbreaking and defeating, starting over at 74.
I did cry, but I didn't want her to see me cry and my son, you know. I tried to look strong. Then I start cleaning.
With only Social Security as an income and workers and materials too expensive, a saying is now becoming the motto on their street.
Little by little, little by little, little by little.
Little by little, and I'm building myself. I don't get no help from nobody.
Neighbors rely on neighbors, and Nidia and Hector, they look to each other.
I got a strong wife anyway, and she's always talking, you know, give me nice word, talking to me, Nard, you can do it, you can do it. Don't worry, you can do it.
Those strong hands holding on to each other, and the hope that help will come. In Manabo, Puerto Rico, with their friends beside them, I'm Erin Murray.
My husband and I want to have our last years in our house.
Spectrum, News 13.